SKINAMARINK is a film from Kyle Edward Bell, from what I understand, based on a short film that kind of went viral, and the decision was made to adapt this into feature length. And it's become one of the notable standout horror films of the year, maybe because it's a divisive film. A lot of people have been over the moon for it, have really, really embraced it, while others kind of feel, I don't know, an animosity towards it and don't quite like what it's presented. Because it is an experimental kind of film. It's not the usual fare, I guess. But that's that's part of what I like about it. Actually, it's a film that doesn't happen at you. It happens with you, and it does require your participation. Not everyone's going to want to lean into that, and they'll see like I don't quite want to immerse myself in this, but it is a highly immersive film. If you're willing to go down that path, I guess. And when it was released, I heard the conflicting things about it. Heard both very positive and very negative things. And finally, it did come to streaming. And again, the word of mouth kind of spread on it. And kind of one thing that stuck to me was that a lot of people were recommending a certain way to watch it, which is an interesting thing to me because I'm really stubborn about I really just I want to watch a movie on my TV, and that's pretty much it. I'm not very big on watching it on like a phone or a tablet or anything like that. But the recommendation was watch it with headphones. Watch it late at night when it seems the world is away. Watch it in as pitch dark as you can, and just let what happens happen. So that kind of recommendation for watching the movie, it did stick with me. And I kept that in mind before finally deciding to watch it. Though, I mean, when it did come out, it was during a difficult time in life. It was actually a time in my life where I was meditating quite a bit on sibling relationships. And, I mean, that's what this movie is. It is about a relationship between two siblings. And how there is this, especially when you're young, especially when you're little children, this shared world that you have, and sometimes it can be a very, magical world, a very positive thing, but other times it can be a very scary place. But you're kind of in this world together, which is an interesting thing. A powerful thing, I think, and that's what these two siblings kind of face in the film. Where I mean, they wake up to discover parents are gone, doors and windows of the house are gone. Phone does work, but it doesn't really connect in a way to the real world, I guess, and it's just a strange and scary thing, but not 100% immediately shocking kind of thing, but just this strange thing that they have to kind of deal with and endure together, right? So as the film unfolds, it gets increasingly sinister, I guess. Um, and with that kind of participation prerequisite in mind, it, it gets under your skin quite a bit, and I did find it to be a very scary movie because I did end up watching it the way a lot of people were kind of recommending to watch it, even though it's something I had never really done. But I mean, at this point, I had watched it after my sister had passed away, and when she was in the hospital, I had gotten her this tablet so she could watch TV. You know, going back now, here it is. It's. I have this tablet lying around now. It wasn't really for me. Maybe I'll make use of it during the sleepless nights that, you know, unfolded. And it really worked. It really worked, and it's kind of one of those experiences that it's gonna stay with you, and unnerve you just at the thought of it. I mean, just thinking about the movie, it unnerves me a little bit, and I like that. I like that a movie can have that kind of power, and how I can visit this sinister place and kind of remove myself from the world in not the traditional escapist kind of way that one might usually do. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you watch something that's distracting and happy and, I don't know, entertaining. I guess some of the criticisms of this movie is that it's not entertaining, which is a strange thing. I mean, it's not necessarily meant to, you know, kick up the adrenaline or anything like that. It is art, right? And art is provocative like that, and it can cause you to interpret what's unfolding in front of you in certain ways, and kind of the way it was able to pretty much allow you to inhabit either one or the other or both of these children's positions in this situation worked really well, and they're able to do it in a way. Bell, as director specifically, I suppose, able to do it in a certain kind of way where you can get the story unfolding just through, you know, these stagnant shots, you know, with this kind of overlay effect, the old-fashioned kind of film grain, kind of like that, and really just peer at every inch of this house, which doesn't really help in navigating it in, you know, a very direct kind of way, because there's really no way to kind of grasp the whole anatomy of this location anyway, because it is ever changing. There is always something either going missing or changing in some kind of way. So it doesn't help you. It doesn't put you at ease and at least knowing where certain things are, right? You know? So I found that to be very effective, and in the way that it is able to kind of quietly present these scenarios, some of which they do end in pretty terrific scares, in scares that aren't necessarily kind of the jump scare kind of thing. Like The thing is, ultimately it's hard to describe. I just remember one scene, which I mean I won't give away. I suppose this is a spoiler-free review, but I just remember the feeling of fear that this created in me, and the shock that it gave me in such a powerful kind of way, like giving me this kind of buzz all about me, and really feeling that fear, which I mean I don't know if I've felt as strongly in a movie prior. Maybe when I was a kid, having nightmares, watching scary movies, maybe, but it was able to affect me in that way, and I'm impressed with that. And obviously, maybe it did have something to do with where my personal mindset was at the time, and maybe it did have to do with watching it in the pitch dark, kind of just staring directly into this tablet, not no occupation in my field of vision from anything else, having the headphones in, just hearing the quiet, subtle nuances that appears on the soundtrack, and kind of just succumbing to it, which was great. So I'll count myself in the camp that's very impressed with this film, likes the film quite a bit. No, I mean, understandably, I do know that it's not for everyone, and that's fine. I mean, again, it's not really a matter of someone not quite willing to, surrender themselves to this movie or what have you. Just, they may see it and they're like, okay, I see what they want me to do as a viewer, but I don't think I want to do that, and that's fine. But those that do, I feel, kind of got a lot out of it. I know I did. And maybe it's not entirely perfect. I mean, I don't know quite how you'd rate perfection in a movie like this, but I mean, there are certain parts where you're like, okay, I mean, they could have trimmed this down a little bit. They're really focusing on this one, part. Like, there's a lot of parts where they'll show like the old royalty-free cartoons, and they'll kind of, meditate on that a little bit too much, where you're kind of like, okay, let's move this along just a little bit, please. And sometimes it's just like, well, it's an hour and 40-minute movie. I think they probably could have gotten away with even like an hour and 10 minutes. Again, it's based on a short, so they've expanded it quite a bit. But I mean, really, the only complaint is it's too much of a dreadful, terrifying thing that you're stuck with. So maybe the conscious decision from Bell was to keep it going as long as they could, to keep us hooked as the audience. Those who were hooked. I mean, if you've already checked out a movie, you've already checked out a movie. But if you're still in it, if you're still in that position, and still kind of under the covers and scared, I guess, it's all the more to endure, which, probably better that it plays out a little bit longer. It's not something, I'd throw on, a weekend, get some pizzas and beer and watch with the friends and things like that. No, it's different than that, but I appreciate it being different. It's different in every sense of the word. I do feel it's one of the best and most provocative, unexpected works from the world of horror in recent years. I thought it was really well made. I thought it was a great movie. So that's my review of SKINAMARINK. Skinnamarink-a-dinky-dink, Skinnamarink-a-doo. I love you. So we're doing 31 days of horror here on the channel. Horror movie reviews throughout October. Getting closer to the end now. So be sure to stay tuned for some more reviews before we're over. And be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you on the next one, and until next time, stay scared.